I'm suffocating in my sleep. What should I do? Top 6 reasons for suffocating in sleep. Every 5th patient who comes to me for consultation complains about suffocating in sleep. Sometimes it's a dangerous situation that can really threaten death in sleep. Sometimes it's a torturous but safe situation, and generally it's quite easy to deal with. And today we will dissect these top 6 reasons. Watch this video to the end and you will learn how to get rid of the feeling of suffocation or lack of air before sleep and during sleep. The first most common reason is obstructive sleep apnea syndrome or sleep apnea disease. I believe nearly everyone has experienced a situation where someone snores. It happens though that he doesn't just snore, but he snores, then goes silent, there's a frightening pause, and then the snoring resumes. This is actually a manifestation of sleep apnea when the brain falls asleep, loses control over the muscle tone of the throat, and if there are certain reasons that lead to the narrowing and collapse of the airways, I have a separate video about this. You can watch it in the description. So, the airways collapse and there is actually an acute episode of suffocation associated with the closure of the airways at the level of the throat. In this case, the brain sends respiratory impulses from the side. It looks like this. The person tries to breathe, but he can't. But at the end of the day, the blood oxygen saturation drops, information reaches the brain, it wakes him up, the person wakes up, gasps loudly, but as soon as he breathes, the respiratory paths narrow when the brain falls asleep and falls asleep again. And there can be 300, 400, 500 such episodes per night, and sometimes the blood oxygen saturation can drop to 70, 60, and even 50%. That is, a person may not breathe for a minute or even 2, and at this moment waking up, the person realizes that there is not enough oxygen. Then you need to figure out whether it is obstructive sleep apnea. And it may be that you suspect this disease in yourself. I list the symptoms. The first is loud, interrupted snoring. The second is an indication of stopping breathing in sleep. This is what the surrounding people can actually tell you about. This is superficial, restless, non-refreshing sleep with awakenings from lack of air. This is night and morning hypertension, night sweating, predominantly headache, neck, frequent nocturnal urination, brokenness in the morning, and heavy daytime sleepiness. And usually this happens in quite full people, that obesity leads to narrowing of the airways.
If directly,
the surroundings usually remember this, they don't remember, they see he stopped breathing, sometimes turn blue, yes, they just think that he has already died. Imagine he doesn't breathe for 2 minutes, then he gasps loudly and begins to breathe. Yes, it's sleep apnea. If you've noticed that your bedmate snores loudly and periodically stops breathing, like this video. But not only like this, tell your neighbor that they need to see a doctor. The next reason is gastroesophageal reflux, the throwing of stomach contents into the esophagus and then actually into the throat. It's a belch. When we have a belch, the stomach contents get into the esophagus and then into the throat. And if at this moment the brain did not give a signal to the respiratory center but inhaled, then part of this food can get directly into the respiratory tract and on the vocal cords, on the vocal ligaments. Our stomach content is acidic, well, that is, there is straight acid contained there, and in the bronchi, in the lungs, we have an alkaline environment. And in fact, this acidic environment can cause a burn of the bronchi, burn of the trachea. And to protect the lungs from getting this acid, a sharp spasm of the vocal cords occurs and an episode of suffocation associated with the fact that these vocal cords have burned and did not let this certain amount of acid go further. The person wakes up and can't breathe. This is a terrifying situation, and imagine if a person also has sleep apnea and he hasn't breathed for a minute before this, his saturation is already 60, he's already blue, the person really starts to lose consciousness from suffocation. Secondly, this is a dangerous real situation because a person can simply die from suffocation. But thank God, at some point this vocal cord begins to relax, the person begins to breathe because it has opened. The body, not so foolish, wants to survive and thus opens the vocal cord. Further, after he has finally breathed in and out, there is often a feeling of hoarseness of the voice. because this is essentially a burn from the acid reflux. We get such a feeling of just burning and pain in the throat as if we have some kind of angina. But in fact, it is again a burn of the throat from the acid in this situation. Naturally, you need to see a doctor. Here, primarily a gastroenterologist and a sleep specialist should be involved. The third most common cause, and it is now increasing in frequency, is the so-called primary central apnea. I remember a patient who came to me some time ago. He says, "Doctor, I practically don't sleep for 3 nights." He says, "I attempt to sleep, my breathing ceases. I wake up gasping, it's a nightmare." He's seen a neurologist and been assigned numerous tests. I suggest, before undergoing these tests, come home tonight. By evening, he had already consulted me. Take a paper bag when you go to bed, apply it like this thickly to cover your nose and mouth, and breathe into this bag. Just don't put it over your head, and a polyethylene bag, otherwise you can suffocate. And then just call me in the morning and tell me what happened. And doctor, how about that? I won't die, you won't die. The man says, I came, well, I want to sleep, took at 9, lay in bed, attached the packet, I open my eyes, it's already 9 in the morning, slept for 12 hours. Why? Hyperventilation, that is excessive breathing, oxygen saturation, and reduction of carbon dioxide level when we fall asleep. Our conscious regulation of breathing turns off and biochemical regulation turns on. That is the respiratory center. Well, and in general, the brain looks, what do we have with oxygen and what do we have with carbon dioxide? And it sees a lot of oxygen, little carbon dioxide. Why breathe then? That is, biochemically, there is no need to breathe because there is already a lot of oxygen, and at the moment of falling asleep, the brain turns off the respiratory center. There is essentially a central cessation of breathing, and for 10 to 15 seconds, and even 20 a person may not breathe. And at the moment of falling asleep, a person feels this cessation of breathing. He believes he's struggling to breathe, that his breathing has ceased, and that he's about to die. It's increased stress, more hyperventilation, essentially a disaster. When we have this feeling, we need to understand that it's not some problem with us lacking air, but with us overloading with oxygen due to a stressful situation. What's the solution? There are several to the problem. The first is to consciously limit your breathing. Breathe slowly and shallowly so that it always seems like you're short of breath. Say 5 seconds, inhale slow and shallow. 5 seconds exhale, but this will approximately result in 6 breathing cycles per minute, shallow ones. 2-3 minutes of such shallow breathing reduces oxygen, increases carbon dioxide, and a person falls asleep normally. Yes, you can in principle apply some fast-acting drugs, for example, the well-known Corvalol or Valocordin, which contains phenobarbital, and this is in turn a drug that stimulates the respiratory center, and you can drink 30 to 40 drops and the situation normalizes, but naturally consult a doctor before using drugs, especially if you are going to use some, let's say, tranquilizers, which in principle also suppress the respiratory center. Effectively cope with this situation. If it is not before sleep, but during the day you have this feeling, you can give yourself some physical load, walk up the stairs, run, the production of carbon dioxide will increase, accordingly stress hormones will be destroyed, and again there will be a feeling of satisfaction from breaths. I recently wrote a book, Stress and Insomnia, How to Break the Vicious Circle, a step-by-step 12-day stress reduction instruction. In the description to this video, you can find a link to this book, and in general, if you apply these 12 steps, you will significantly reduce stress, and in particular, this can positively affect this feeling of dissatisfaction with breathing, which you may experience against the background of stress. And read it and your life will become easier. Well, dear friends, I think I will try to explain the reasons a little faster. Firstly, they are slightly less common among sleep specialists. Secondly, they may be more known and common to regular doctors who encounter them. But above all, it's a heart failure. This is when a person feels a lack of air, especially when he is lying down. And there can be swelling in the legs, shortness of breath with little physical exertion or even at rest, and so-called cardiac asthma occurs at night when a person suffocates because the lungs begin to fill with fluid. And even sometimes pneumonia occurs, well, if this is a very severe manifestation of heart failure. In this situation, a person should raise his head higher so that the fluid goes down a bit and it becomes easier for the person to breathe. The next reason is bronchial asthma. There is also asthma that it gets worse at night. There are many reasons for this, but in particular, it is also a violation of sleep hygiene and bedroom conditions. For example, if you do not wash a pillow for 3 years, then 13 types of fungi live there, including Aspergillus, and it causes bronchial asthma. That is, it actually causes an allergy and bronchial asthma. So, in general, it is necessary to create a hypoallergenic environment in the bedroom to reduce these attacks of bronchial asthma at night. And also, perhaps a more rare reason is epilepsy. This is when a person develops such a sudden syndrome, and at this moment, a person can also stop breathing. Typically, the individual doesn't recall anything in this scenario. He develops what is called retrograde amnesia. A person can have sufficiently long pauses in breathing during an epileptic seizure and even faint from it. If you have had pauses in breathing, if you have noticed them in your loved ones and relatives, write in the comments how you dealt with it, whether a diagnosis was made, whether the treatment was effective. Ask some questions, I may try to comment, and we will find some solution to your problems. So if you lie down in bed and can't sleep because your breathing stops, the first thing you do is limit ventilation. 5 seconds slow inhale, 5 seconds slow exhale. Breathe like this for 3 to 4 minutes. You will feel satisfaction with the breath. Moreover, if you slow down your breathing, your nervous system will calm down. In fact, this is a breathing technique that is also used to essentially relax and relieve stress. So you restore normal breathing, relieve stress, and it's easier to fall asleep. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I think there are already enough videos there that allow you to sleep better, understand the causes of some sleep problems, and effectively solve them.